Hello and welcome to the Thinking Cap Solutions podcast, episode 7. My name is Corey Kay. This is Mickey Maher.
Good to hear you, Corey.
And each week, our podcast, audience, content and engagement. Today, it is putting the heart into your brand.
There's an expectation that every brand is doing this. And look, there is a lot of brands doing it, not necessarily all doing it well or authentically, but you know, it's such an important part of what audiences expect these days. You know, if I'm investing in a brand to buy their products, I want to know that there's a social conscience there.
Yeah, and it's a good chat to have. And I think one that we both believe are doing it really well is someone like Bunnings. A very simple execution. And keep in mind, they're a national brand, but the way in which they've localised it, and that's really simple. Each Saturday and Sunday it might be too.
Now, the sausage sizzle.
But you'll see a local group. It could be Surf Lifesaving, a Rotary group, Lions. And essentially Bunnings gives them that area so that they can sell the sausages and make some money for whatever they need to do for that community group.
Yeah, money that they would otherwise not normally get to raise. Look, and that's a simple one, but there's different ways that you can do it. And Corey, I want to talk about one that you did when you were leading a radio station on the Gold Coast, because I thought it was fantastic. And while this is an example that you did as a radio station, I encourage, as people are listening, to have a think about how your brand's putting the heart, you know, in it, or not perhaps, and perhaps take some inspiration from this idea. It's called the Little Legends of League, mate, and I want you to tell us a little bit about the idea first.
Yeah, so it's a really fun idea, but at the heart of it is the heart of it. So Gold Coast Tweed, I should say. So we're right on the border between New South Wales and Queensland. One of the biggest events of the year is State of Origin. It's a huge event. You're looking to seize on those events. And we created essentially what was an under-10s Little Legends game, the Baby Blues versus the Mini Maroons, and decked it out like it was a full Origin game selection. We even had kids who were the cheerleaders. We had a commentary team. We commentated the game live on air and had a 14-year-old kid who we discovered was really good at commentary, loved Rabs, and he was commentating the game. So every single element was about kids.
And you even had a legend coaching the players.
Oh, we brought them all in. So it was Matt Rogers and Ash Harrison who were the coaches for the first year, because we ended up doing this 2 years running. It was such a powerful event.
So tell me how it aligned to your brand values that it came about to do it.
Our station was Gold Coast As. That's a mantra that we lived by. Finding and having events or doing things that were meaningful for the Gold Coast were always a part of our DNA. So that was a natural fit, obviously doing an event which was for kids and families and bringing clubs involved. But strategically, it was a key event for us because we just rebranded. So we were a local station which had our own identity, and we took on a national identity. A very strong, powerful brand, so strong, in fact, that we had to be aware that we could be seen as a sport male radio station, because what you can't do, you've got to embrace that whilst also bringing the audience with you to let them know that no, we're still for you, because we were gender agnostic. So the Little Legends is embracing sport. At the end of the day, it's a football game, right? But there's more to it than a football game, because you've got boys and girls who want to play in the team. You've got the families who are attached to the team. You've got all of the local clubs that are represented as well. And it was fun.
And as we know, local sport is nothing without mums, right? If they're cutting up the oranges, they're taking the kids to sport,
You've been there. Anyone listening will know that mums tend to be the ones who drop them off, pick them up. They clean the jumpers. They're the ones behind tuck shop. Mums run that show.
So community, because one of your mantras and showing heart was, how are we Gold Coast as?
Yep.
Part of it, showing heart, was because it was important for you to embrace this new audience that you're evolving to, but also retaining the one that you had.
Yeah, bring them close, because that's the thing we identified with. We're not talking to sports nuts here. We're talking to mums and dads and families, kids.
Massive undertaking, I'm assuming. Did you have big budgets? Did you have truckloads of staff working on this 24 hours a day?
Listen, we had a decent amount of staff working on it, and I think that's one of the key things when you do a campaign around heart and community. You need a team that were invested. The team, it was incredible. Like, I can't speak highly enough of those involved and the hours that were actually put in to put this event on. And that's when you know you've got something that is special, when people are actually giving up their time and doing overs to make an event happen. Because we didn't have the big budget. We did not. We had a lot of favours that came in. And that was probably another key indicator that this was a really an idea that resonated. We had people calling us from out of nowhere to help us out, like if we needed lights because we needed to light the field. Local guy calls up, I've got that. We had massive issues with the cost of the insurance. The idea was going to die because we couldn't cover the insurance, and the company wouldn't let me do it, which was well within reason. And a guy in Brisbane who, through one contact or another, sent him kind of the idea, and this is what it is, and he covered all of it. Wow. So he took on the risk. He took on all of the risk. And I actually, it would scare me to know what the invoice or the bill would be for that. There's another indication that, okay, this thing has got heart. I just think he wanted to do it for the kids and for the family.
How did you judge success?
If you look at the analytics, we had, because you had to submit a video, and I think within a few days we had 150, then it was 300. We ended up with about 1,500, which are 1,500 videos we actually had to go through and watch. Wow. And it was all these clips of the kids. So there's your first indication that, okay, I think we're onto something. And then it was the phone calls as well, because our breakfast show was at the heart of this, and we'd be doing content around it every morning and trying to get, parents on the air, and you'd see the amount of traffic coming through. Personal experience, it was the amount of parents coming up to me on a Saturday
trying to bribe you into getting their team on the side.
100%. So that was an indication straight away. Then you've got the emotional indicator, which is because we actually had the parents, when they were announced as being in the team, would have the parents secretly film the kid as they found out. And terrific. Seeing their reaction, and you had tears, jumping for joy. It was that unadulterated, what we all know in kids, that they just let it all hang out. That to me was a indicator. Then the parents as well. I've got to say, as much as it was about the kids, the extension of that were the parents, and having seen firsthand families coming together to see their kid be presented with a jumper for the Maroons or the Blues. They may as well have been playing in the real thing, because that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like from the outside looking in.
And you know what? Those memories will be with those kids and those families forever.
Yep.
You've changed people's lives in a fun way.
In a really fun, positive way. And one thing that I didn't see as a performance indicator, and this would relate to a brand who maybe it's, whether you're selling something, selling a product. For us, it would be what we call ratings, where we'd get judged on the previous 3 months on how much audience we've built. That was never a key performance indicator for mine, because that's not what the campaign was about. If that was a byproduct of it, by all means. But I think in this, for any brand, if it's about moving stock and that's why you do it, I think that's the wrong reasons.
No. The other thing I liked, and I didn't want to cut you off, was around the team connecting on the idea. You talked about there's a heap of staff working on the idea. The importance of bringing them together, right, for them to have a great understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So if you're a brand of staff of 2 to 200 or whatever it is, making sure that you all understand this is what we're doing and this is why, and even giving them an opportunity to have a say perhaps in what it is you support and how your brand shows the heart.
I remember after the actual event, and we had moments throughout it where we'd kind of look at each other and go, wow, this is really special. Could look everyone in the eye and go, we did this together, and that was an amazing feeling.
What are some ideas that I guess that brands can do to show heart? Where would you recommend they start?
I think some really simple things I think you can do to start with, and maybe you shut down the shop for a day, and everyone goes. It could be a homeless shelter, something that you're all like-minded for, that you all care about, and you go and dedicate a day to go and do that and go and help someone out. The next level could be maybe you're creating your own event. Now this could be a walk on a beach for a gold coin donation for breast cancer. If that's so inclined to what you care about, they could start off with 5 people, Mickey, and then be 10 the next year, 15. All of a sudden, it's an annual event. Because one thing I do know is when you show your heart and you do it in an authentic way and you tell people about it, people buy in and they want to be part of it, and they'll grow it.
And you know what? And if your brand ever goes through the tough times, your audience will stick by you.
They won't forget. They will not forget. And I remember I'd have parents and kids who remembered that we put on that event and would come and shake my hand again. Like, well,
yeah,
wow,
fantastic,
special.
Yeah. Look, some other things you can obviously align with a local community charity event. Wear some T-shirts of a charity that you're important. Do dress up days. I mean, the more interesting, the more exciting. But as long as it's coming from a true place.
Yep.
And that's the heart.
Yep. And maybe it's a case that you talked about the team. It could be a story from the team. sharing. Like if you share and they're happy to publicly share that, there can be ways of doing that as well.
Yeah, everyone's got a story. And, there's someone within your team, no matter how big or small your team is, that's got a story that perhaps is a special one that deserves to be put a spotlight on and in a beautiful heart way. And you might go, this is something that we want to get behind. So
I think if you can look back and be really proud of something, then you've found it. That could be a really good filter, thinking about that now. Like if you step
your own
back
pride,
and go,
right? Your own pride. And that's a great point, mate, because, if you're just doing it for brownie points outwardly, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. Now, that should be a benefit of it, no question about it. But you should be able to look yourself in the mirror and go, geez, I'm so proud of what we did today or what we've been doing around this, irrespective of what other people think. But if it's typically for a good cause and it's authentic, then you will absolutely get that community credit for it. And if you don't necessarily know where to start looking for that idea, then we would love to help you. Reach out to us, Thinking Cap Solutions, all one word, on LinkedIn. Or you can grab us on the website, thinkingcapsolutions.com.au.